And joining us this morning exclusively in the studio is Laurie Russo. I mean, I feel like I've read this a bunch of times, but to actually sit here and talk to you about it, this story is amazing. You must be feeling an intense sense of relief at this point.
Yeah, most definitely. It's nice to be over.
You had to sit there in court on Thursday, and he was staring at you.
Yes.
And that was the first time you'd seen him?
Correct.
What was that like for you?
I had seen pictures, but yeah, first time in person, and it was terrifying, but in a lot of respects it was nice to see justice being done.
So what made you decide that you had to tackle this yourself?
Well, it happened so quickly. When you get a phone call, you have he's on the phone for maybe a minute. So even if I call 911 or call any of the police force directly, it's hard for them to get there in time. So I started thinking, I'm going to have to figure out how I can make this work.
Because understandably, you were terrified. He knew things about you that seemingly he couldn't have known without being inside your home.
Right.
Knew your schedule. Give us an idea of what that was like and when you realized just how much information he had.
Well, each call seemed to get progressively angrier and with a little bit more information. He knew my son was away at college. He knew I lived alone. He presumably was in my property. He knew I had things about my backyard. I had a hot tub that was sunken. You only know I have that if you've been in my backyard. And he referenced that. He referenced knowing my car. He referenced knowing everywhere I go. Yeah, he referenced that he knew I lived alone.
Yeah, that's beyond creepy.
Yeah.
Honestly, for anyone. So when you start to think about this, all of a sudden you must be second guessing every single person who's around you. You never went to your mailbox without mace?
No, I didn't go to get the paper without mace. I cut the grass with mace in my hand. I wouldn't walk down the street without mace.
Did you suspect any of your neighbors?
The poor neighbors, all the ones I didn't know. Yeah, and if they changed the way they had their shades, I'm like, are they looking at me? And the neighbors that I knew were great. They were my second set of eyes.
It's amazing because as we heard from the detective, and you and I were talking in the break too, there is no connection that you can figure out that this man has to you. And are you still at a loss for how you became the target?
Totally. Yeah, I have no idea how.
What did the police say about your help in this case?
They really appreciated it, and the judge even thanked me for all the help. And the police were great. They couldn't have done more for me, patrolling the street more and just being there. But they were very thankful.
I know you're also really appreciative for the young man who was working at the gas station, which finally helped clinch this for you.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, really thankful, because without him and without his non-hesitation to go just get me the license plate number.
So Professor's now facing, as we mentioned, up to 18 months in prison. How do you feel about that? If he could get the max, that's all that you can do with the justice system. But it'll be a relief. Are
you
still checking over your shoulder all the time?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you...
I think it'll be something that I always do, to a less degree. But yep.
Well, we're happy that it turned out so well for you.
Well, thank you so much.
And to listen to all of us to be vigilant about those things. Laurie, thanks for spending time with us this morning and sharing your story.
You're welcome.